And we're live. Hi, everyone. How are you doing this beautiful Thursday evening? I'm here in Thunder Bay, Ontario, on the north shore of Lake Superior, very close to the Canada-US border, where Minnesota is just south of here. So, how's everyone doing? It it's just we're getting some beautiful weather. These are not real. I'm going to set these down, but I'm so excited about what's happening this week because um, here it is. It's May the 28th, and finally, the weather has warmed up somewhat. So it's gardening time. And I know many of you who've been watching Shop with Diane since it began. Oh my goodness, the beginning of the pandemic have I know that you too are a gardener, and that was my COVID project to set up some raised garden beds outside the store here on a lot that we also own. And I have been anxiously awaiting the good weather, as I'm sure you have, if you're in the local or regional area, because the show gets broadcast not just to people here in Thunder Bay, but across northwestern Ontario, well, actually across all of Ontario and across the borders, provincial borders, it's across the country, cross into the US, cross overseas. So many people are joining us, and I'm wondering what the weather's like where you happen to be. We have a comment section during our live presentation or during the replay as well. If you happen to be watching after the live presentation, we welcome your comments. We welcome your thumbs up and your hearts. It's a great way to let me and Facebook algorithms and the rest of our viewers and community to know that you're on board and you like what you see, and so we keep on going. With the weather improving, maybe we don't have quite as many viewers as on those really cold winter days when people are just hunkered down and the days are really short. But the sun is shining here where we are. So since the weather has improved on Tuesday, I have been visiting the gardening centers and starting to get flowers planted at my parents, who many of you know have been living in a retirement residence not far from where I'm located. And they're fortunate to have a walkout patio and just a little garden bed outside their apartment. And last spring, I was able to get some flowers planted. But now, having had a year experience there, I, I the first plantings I've done this summer are at their home, and trying to create that beautiful summertime environment. My parents used to have huge vegetable gardens and beautiful flowers around the home when they lived out in the country. So just want them to feel some of that. And it has been wonderful. Gina is saying hello. And Gina, you are back from your international travels, I'm guessing. So great to have you here. I know you too are probably out in the garden doing things this week. So I have to be, I was kind of surprised though when I went on Monday. Yes, it was still chilly here, but I went to a couple of garden centers, and I think I was the only person there, or one of very few. And I thought, gee, is nobody else watching the weather forecast, wanting to get a jump start? And on the rush that we know is going to be coming. In some places, some of the plants are overgrown. They were hoping that we would have been by earlier in the season to pick them up, but the plants up. But Mother Nature wasn't having anything to do with that. So, and then I popped over to more garden centers on Tuesday when the weather improved. And again, very few shoppers. So get ready if you don't have your plants. I don't think in this immediate area that we're going to, we should expect any frost. I'm guessing, I'm watching the forecast. So I think it's time to get out there and do some planting. And I see my mom, Elsie, is saying hello, as is Louise. Love to hear from you, gals, and have you being part of this Thursday evening live update on what's happening. Um, as I said, I've got some flowers planted at my parents', and one of the things that my mom used to do, and I think the baton has been passed my way the last couple of years, but um, with life being so unpredictable day to day, I thought I'm going to jump in there and get some of the cemetery plots that uh, are for our deceased family members. Get those all cleaned up and planted, and that's done. And I think I think those were among the first flowers planted this season. But as I know what has uh, happened in life is it's become very unpredictable for me. And so I just try to jump in and get some stuff done. Otherwise, I'm not sure when I'll get around to it. So those are done. And I am looking to get some of my planting done here and um, just in the raised garden beds and at home in the flower beds as well. So, but in preparation for that, I got my soil dug up and added some good old cow manure to that and some garden soil to help replenish the um, garden beds because if you are doing any raised gardening, because there's such an intensive you plant things closer together, it really um, uh, sucks up all of the nutrients in the soil. So you have to get it back into a healthy state again. So adding some cow manure and fresh garden soil and some fertilizer. Now, um, I know you can go to the garden centers and buy some fertilizer in smaller packagings. Maybe some of them have larger, but having grown up on a farm, if you're not aware of a place called Bowles Feeds, look them up, BOLE apostrophe S, Bowles Feeds. They're on the south side of the city. Um, and they do a lot of farm supplies, but you probably find this at Thunder Bay Co-op as well. I was able to get myself a big bag of fertilizer. Now, my dad, who's 100, he swears by, says, Diane, you just go by 10, 10, 10, and that's the 10, it deals with nitrogen, and then there's phosphorus, is it, and potash. And each of those types of nitrogen helps with the green leafy growing, and the potassium, do I have this right? has to is good for the roots, and then potash good for the fruiting of plants and so on. He says 10, 10, 10. So I went into Bowles Feeds and I said, okay, my dad told me, add 10, 10, 10. Do you have it? And they said, what? Over the years, fertilizer, they increased the percentage or if it, so it's now 19, 19, 19, but I bought last year's stock of 17, 17, 17. Anyways, what I'm saying is if you listen to an old retired farmer, my dad, and who's also done market gardening and has always had fertilizer around to help with his crops and vegetables, um, uh, get yourself some generic uh, um, fertilizer, and if you want it in bulk, you get a big bag of it at a place like Bowles Feeds or Thunder Bay Co-op. And I'm hoping to get some fertilizer spread on my lawn at the lot next door. Did a little research on that. Supposedly, I should do a couple of cuttings before spreading that. That lot has struggled, and it hasn't helped that I've had cars park it during special events, and so. But I think they need a little extra help. So, how's everybody doing this evening? I see we are um, getting a few more people joining this evening. So, if you haven't said hello, please do. And if you're watching the replay, which is available for 30 days on Facebook, let me know you're watching. Say hello and add your comments. Anybody else done some gardening so far this week? Are you growing vegetables or flowers? Are you experimenting with something new? I'm experimenting with something new. Well, before I get to that, I just want to say, as I'm planning this weekend, I'm going to do, I hope, to plant the vegetables. I've got some seedlings, little plants, some herbs and so on, that rather than planting them from seed. But I'm going to be planting um, some beans and some peas, broad beans. Those remind me of the days when my grandmother, my baba, would grow broad beans, and we'd add them to the beet soup, the borscht. And we haven't had broad beans for years and years to add to the borscht. So I'm planting some this year, and hopefully that'll go well. But and I'm planting some beets. But a little, if you haven't done this or before, or just maybe you've already started it, is to soak some of those um, seeds, either between paper towels, or some things I'm reading you can just immerse them in a little bit of water as well. But if you soak them for 24, 48 hours ahead of time, especially things like peas and broad beans and beets and corn, that's going to help soften the hard shell on the seed and help accelerate the germination. So when it comes time to plant them, your crop should come up a little sooner. So that's something I've just started a little earlier today, as I'm soaking some of those seeds so they'll be ready to plant on the weekend. And why the weekend? Why not tomorrow? Well, I'm excited. I'm going to be attending one of my niece's graduation from Lakehead University, and take my mom along as well. That'll be quite a something to celebrate. Another uh, uh, amazing young Petrino gal getting her education and completing at Lakehead University. But in the fall, we'll be heading to university in Southern Ontario to continue with her studies. So I'm pretty excited about that. And so that's tomorrow's plan. But on the week, I'll do a little bit of planting. Now, my mom, I mentioned, was an amazing gardener with flowers around the home. And one of her favorite flowers has been gladiolas. And that's what, at the very beginning of the show, these are not real, but this is what gladiola would look like it when, well, this is artificial, but to make it look like the real thing. Anyways, these are gladiola. And my mother loved to plant them. And she used to actually sell some at market when they did market gardening. So I happened to be around a store a few weeks ago and said, "Oh, there's some gladiola bulbs. I'll pick those up." I have no idea where I'm going to plant them because I really don't have the same sort of setup that my mother had out in the country. But I purchased some, and then, oh, maybe about not quite a week ago, I thought, "Oh, I forgot my mom." Before planting them, she would set them in a pan of shallow water. And what would happen is the bulb would start to root when you'd put them in water, and then they would start to sprout. And again, that would give the plant a head start when you plant it outdoors. So, but so I did. They're coming along great. But then I thought, where am I going to plant these? So I Googled it. And what did I learn? You can plant these in pots, and you can plant them an inch or two away from one another in a pot. But you only fill the bottom of a big pot, maybe about 18 inches wide kind of pot, and fairly deep, but you only fill the bottom third with soil and then put your bulb into the soil, cover it up with a couple of inches, and when the they peek through that, then you would put more soil on top and end up burying them as they continue to grow and you continue to add soil. Maybe put about 6 to 8 inches of soil above the bulb. Why you would do that, which I've learned, and it makes sense because these become very tall, these plants. Um, these bulbs, here's the packaging on them, so they're going to hopefully look so wonderful, but they grow as tall as 36 to 50 inches, very tall. So think of a pot and then the height of those. The wind can catch those, so you need to stake them. But by burying the bulb so deep, it stabilizes the plant. So that's something I learned and I'm excited to experiment with. And Mom, you're going to have a pot of gladiola. So that one's for you. And I think it's going to be fun. So I've got those ready to plant very, very soon. And so what is coming up besides gardening and graduations? Because my goodness, there's graduations for kindergarten and elementary school and high school and college and university and but we are getting very close to June already, and we don't have any statutory holidays coming up in June, but we do have on the 21st of June a number of things going on. Now, that's the third Sunday in June, and in North America and in the UK and in Asia, it happens to be Father's Day on the third Sunday in June. And in other places like Europe, in Latin America, and so on, they celebrate it in March 19th, in other countries at other times of the year. But here in North America, it's Father's Day coming up. So that is a pretty big deal. Talking about gardening and things that I think you might want to give Dad. I don't have any small of these gloves left, but I do have them in medium and large and extra large, and I have been using these to do the gardening so far. Oh my God, they are amazing. I have used other gloves which are sort of rubberized in the palm, but the beauty of these is that they're also rubberized on top. They have a nylon in behind here, but oh my gosh, the mediums are a little bit big on my hand. The small fit like surgical gloves almost, and I just have been able to dig around in the dirt and weed very easily and do what I need to do without dirt coming in through the gloves, and the soil can be wet, and my fingernails have stayed pretty clean here. And that is unusual. Just the most comfortable, wonderful gloves. So I have these here. So what a great gift to give Dad. They were on a show earlier. If you go back, you might find the sale price. Otherwise, they are $10.95 for these. So a great pair of gloves. I've never had them. Here's mine. See, a little dirty. But oh my gosh, I can do lots of good work with this. So that's my treat to myself, is those gloves. And let's see, speaking of doing some gardening, a gift idea. Don't forget, we also have these cooling neckties here at the store as the summer weather fast approaches. I think they're $12.95 for these. You just soak these in water, and they because they're filled with polyacrylamide crystal, it'll soak up the water, and this damp cotton necktie around your neck will cool the blood that is going to your head and cools you right down. So whether it's gardening or you happen to be playing pickleball out there, golfing, um, um, having a hot flash, working in a hot environment, indoors or outdoors, you're going to want those. You can reuse them hundreds of times as you resoak them daily. You can let them completely dry out and wait to the next heat wave. So we have those, some gift ideas. And oh, I just got a notice that, yeah, the 50/50 draw here in Thunder Bay, the hospital 50/50 draw, last time opportunity to buy tickets is before midnight tonight. Tomorrow they do the drawing. It's going to be over $2 million prize. I think that's maybe the 10th month in a row that it is a draw for over $2 million. So maybe I can fit that in. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be at a graduation tomorrow and I'll have my phone on silence. Hey, Glenn Craig, who makes the phone calls to the winners, just note that I'll be at a graduation and I'll get back to you. Just leave a message. Okay. Let's see. But on the 21st of June is not just Father's Day, uh, and I'm very blessed to still have my dear old dad with us. So that'll be a very special day, but it's also the National Indigenous Peoples Day. And prior to it being called National Indigenous Peoples Day, it was called National Aboriginal Day, but this now includes more inclusive in terms of includes Métis and Inuit and Aboriginal community as well. It's a day to celebrate their culture and contribution to Canada's past and currently and future. So that is a day of celebration. Quite often on Mount McKay, there is a powwow. I'll have to take a closer look to see how people in this area will be celebrating that very special day. But it's also the June solstice. Now, in the Northern Hemisphere, that means that it is going to be, some people think it's the start of summer. Sometimes Mother Nature, depending where you are, the weather doesn't really feel like it's summer. We'll see where we get um, by then, but it happens to be the shortest day of the year if you're in the southern hemisphere, but the longest day of the year if you're in the northern hemisphere. Now, I just took a look before the show and looked to see when our sun will rise that morning and when it will set here in Thunder Bay. And it is this is a little bit surprising. It arises at the sunrise is at 5:56 a.m. and it doesn't set until 10:02 p.m. That's giving us about just a little more than 16 hours of daylight, sunlight. Wow. So then it made me think, well, okay, so what was the shortest day of the year? So that was in December 20, or this coming December when we get to there. On December 21st, the shortest day of the year here in Thunder Bay, the sun rises at 8:27 and it sets at 4:32. Ooh, that's little more than 8 hours of daylight. So the shortest day of the year, a little more than 8 hours of daylight here, but the longest day, a little more than 16 hours. So I kind of wonder why towards the end of summer I'm getting a little bit tired. I think it is because I try to do, probably like you, more things when I have more daylight to do them in. And um, I the in the winter months here, it would be dark and I wouldn't be venturing outdoors very often in the dark. But here it's still beautiful sun, and why wouldn't I get out there? So that is um, just around the corner. Now, uh, I have done the show with my door open. I can look around the side wall of the Fort William Gardens. That's where we're located. But just before the show, I'd opened up the door, and who came in? I heard a buzzing, a big, loud buzzing. I was wondering, oh my gosh, like what just came in through the door? And it was a huge, huge bumblebee. And so it was like, okay, it's buzzing around right close by to me, and I'm not going to panic. The door is open, and with any luck, it will find its way outdoors. And it did. But it was a huge bumblebee, so it's pretty wonderful to see the bee because I hope that there will be plenty of bees around to pollinate all the fruits and vegetables that are being planted. They're so important to food production and always great to see them. So, listen, that's all really I have to say. If you do have any questions, people are regularly contacting me for more MSM all natural pain relief lotion, um, which many of you already own, but as you know, really does a wonderful job of significantly reducing inflammation, which that inflammation is painful. So whether it's arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, trigger finger, carpal tunnel, restless leg, backache, toe aches, whatever. It's great. Do you hear that? And I get to watch planes. We're on the flight path here, and which is some days been very interesting to see the types of aircraft flying overhead. So Beverly is joining us. Hello, Beverly, and Natalie as well. So great to have you, gals. I just think, look, seeing who's watching, I know that we have gardeners among us. Is there anything then? Is there anything that you're trying as an experiment in your garden this year? New plant? Um, if so, just pop it in there. And it's always interesting. You add such quality to the show when you offer your comments that way. Now, there's a question here that Beverly has. When is my next shopping experience? Okay, if you mean the next online experience, the shopping show. I did one a couple of weeks ago, and people really said they enjoyed it very much, and it was great to see people come by and pick it up, the items up. And I don't want to overcommit myself, but I thought, maybe I could try to manage once a month for the next short while. Um, I don't want to overcommit. When what that means is it takes a couple of days to pull the show together, do the show, and then I organize pickup times for a couple of days afterwards. It used to be a few days, but I'm saying a couple of days. And being a family caregiver to my parents, it's a little bit unpredictable with medical appointments and emergencies and other things that come up. So I'm hoping in a couple of weeks to do a shopping show because it's also great for me to show you seasonal products and clear some of those out of the store as well. If you're asking about when's the next time that I will have the store open for you to come in and look at all the casual clothing and pick it up at 50% off, if that was your question, Beverly. What I did last time is the scheduled pickup times that I had following the show. I invited people in to come and do some in-store shopping. So everything remains very tentative. So, but as I've said before, and I think Beverly, I know Beverly had called together a group of colleagues and friends, and we set up a mutually agreeable time, and they came and had their own personal time here at the store to do some shopping, and that offer is available to any of you. Grab five of you together, give me a shout and say, hey Diane, when can we uh, come by the store? We'd love you to have the doors open and your great clothing available, and your discounts too. So please give me a shout. The number to reach me at any time, the best way is text or phone. Let's see. And the number is 807 628 4334. That's 807 628 4334. That's the best way to reach me. I'm going to be trying to get some gardening done, downsize the amount of inventory I have here at the store. So take me up on that offer to organize a shopping experience for you and your friends and your family. Be happy to do that. I will let you know when I do the real live shopping show. But as I said, if there's things that you know that I might have, whether it's solar powered hummingbird wind chimes or gardening gloves or cooling neckties or oh my goodness, cocktail bombs. I've got cool stuff. If you know of what I have, just let me know and we'll organize a pickup time. I do have somebody coming by this Monday at 10:30 to do a pickup of some MSM lotion as well as the bath soak. And so if that is a time that you want to pop by, please, I'm going to be here at Monday at 10:30 for a short while, and love to see you as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for making some time this Thursday evening to get caught up on what's happening here in Thunder Bay when the weather is finally improved and the garden centers are just desperately waiting for your arrival. It's time to get out there and dig around in the dirt, get some fresh air and some sunshine. It is really what we need to remember when COVID hit, how therapeutic it really was. Well, we're living through some crazy times too, and hopefully you'll find some solitude and some sanity and and just enjoy the calmness and beauty of being outdoors. So thank you so much, everyone. Stay well, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget, hearts and thumbs up make a big difference to Facebook logarithms. Facebook is having a real hissy fit. Unless we pay as small businesses to circulate or broadcast the shows or any of our posts, they just don't want to do it. And so, and one way to counter that is just getting a lot of engagement in the posts that we do. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you for watching the show, but also I very much appreciate that little extra effort on your part. It goes a long way, just not just for my business, but any other organization as well. Okay, good night, everyone. Won't take any much more of your time. It's beautiful. Get out there and enjoy the beginning of the end of spring, and which is really warming up to the start of a wonderful summer. Okay, bye-bye.